Hey there, Gemini. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. Thank you for joining me. These readings have just sort of been pouring out of me. Every time I've gone to shuffle and meditate, the cards just start falling out. So here we go. So this is a reading for March 2019 for the sign of Gemini. And astrologers say it can be your sun, moon, or rising. You got a bonus card. Okay, let's turn these over. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Temperance, the Emperor, Ace of Swords in the middle. That's beautiful. The Tower. Yeah, seeing Two of Swords, seeing things very clearly. That's been coming out this month. So I see a situation in which the truth is revealed. You can no longer, maybe you had an idea that you would advance in the company you're in, or if you have a significant other that, you'll get married and have kids and all that stuff. Or you just were thinking things would go a certain way. You had this idea in your head, and all of a sudden, something is revealed, something happens, and the truth comes out that a plan that you had, the way you thought something would go, it's not going to go that way. Like you can't, it's like once you know something, you can't unknow it. Like you can't, there's no more fantasizing about it. There's no more waiting and thinking it will happen. You just have to accept that things are not going to go the way you wanted them to go. And, this can be obviously upsetting. If it's in a relationship, it could mean, and I don't see this as like the relationship deteriorating, and this is mirroring Taurus. I have a lot of signs that are having similar things. So this could have to do with a Taurus or someone with strong earth energy. Not like, not like a breakup, but just like you finally had that hard conversation that you've been avoiding because you knew if you had it, you may find out things where you would come to this impasse and realize that you want kids and I don't want kids. You don't see us getting married. You know what I mean? I will never get any further in this job than I've gotten. There is no room for advancement. I don't like my career. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like where I live. Like, oh, I thought I was going to be able to, you're going to have to fill in the blank for you, but something that and maybe it was almost like a fantasy, but something that or maybe you assumed something was going to go a certain way and you find out that it's not possible for one reason or the other. So we do have the Tower here. So the Tower is kind of like a wake-up call, and it's just like, oh, and it jars you because you're like, have to really reassess everything and think about, whoa, if things aren't going to go that way, what way are they going to go? What am I going to do? But the beautiful thing, there's a transformation. So a big shift, a big change. Sometimes these are internal, they're not even external. A transformation, but the way you're living life will never be the same. You're going to be able to see a difference in your everyday life, how you're living it, but you're going to feel dramatically different inside in the way you approach life. And I see you really grabbing onto this opportunity. This isn't something where you're going to, well, on this side, there's going, like, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to be all depressed and just be like, well, if I can't have things the way I envision them, then I don't want them at all. That's the only way I could see things. Or you're going to allow it to expand your mind. So this is the choice that you have to make. And it's going to be a very conscious decision. And look at, you have a temperance. It actually is going to bring more balance and stability to your life. Transformation. This is really seeing things clearly. This is your head and heart. You have it's a sword card, but you have the moon, the feminine, and the sun, the masculine, really in sync with each other. So that goes back to that temperance balance card. And really getting, now that you're seeing things clearly, this sword has cut away all your dreams and fantasies and things you've filled in the blanks and assumptions you make. And you're seeing the essence, the very real bottom line facts. And then you can, again, you may have a little bit of pity party, which is normal. But then you're going to make the decision. You're going to realize you've been freed. So some of you, it may be like you were in a not very nice relationship, but you have talked yourself into like, oh, this is just the way relationships are. I mean, even work situations can be toxic. And something is happening where you're like, this is never going to get better. Maybe like in career, maybe this person becomes your boss or something. And you're like, what the fork? Like, how could this crazy person who isn't even productive and now they're my boss? I got to get out of here. But it turns out to be the best thing because you weren't moving in the right direction. And this is something that's so important and I feel like it's a message for me, even though I have 0 Gemini in my chart. If you're running up against frustrations or blocks, there's a reason for it. It's telling you it's time to go in a different direction. Yeah. And then it's like the sky's the limit. What are you going to create? You have all the tools. This is all the aces in one. This is time to create, time to take action, time to move forward, time to seize this opportunity that was created once the dust settles from this Tower card. There's this amazing opportunity to move forward and create the life you want. You get like this do-over, this get out of jail free, this life mulligan, and you can now use it to do things differently and to go for it. It's like you played it safe and it didn't work out. So go for it this time. It's like the decisions you made and the way things were going were kind of like what your parents wanted you to do, or society wanted you to do, or the way you thought it should be done. And now you're realizing, I was living for someone else and this didn't work out because this isn't what was really in me. This isn't what I really wanted to do. And this time you're like, I'm going to make decisions for my own life. I'm not going to worry about other people's reactions to my decisions because it's my life and I have to live with the consequences. And I already just saw I was living for someone else and it didn't make me happy, and it sort of blew up. But now that it blew up, I see the opportunity now to do it the way that feels right for me, that I'm inspired to do it, to move forward. Yeah, to do what we have this King of Cups, to do what feels right for you. And you're going to be victorious because you're no longer fighting your true nature, going against your true nature. You're accepting it and moving forward with excitement. So this is a real entrepreneurial card. You may start, I feel this freedom actually, which you may have a hard time admitting, but you feel actually freed by the situation, and maybe you felt like you should be sad and depressed, but you feel free and create. So I feel like creativity is just going to overflow. Like you may even be overwhelmed by the ideas that are coming to you. And I almost see you starting to exercise or even jogging. I can't jog because of my knees, but so when you're out doing this activity, it's also creative time for you, and it helps you, your mind can just sort of run through everything and helps start sorting things out and getting things, a plan in place. Big deal. Big new beginnings for you, Gemini. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and supporting my channel. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you want to. But I will see you at the next video. Take care.